The Crusades and the legacy of religious militarism. The Crusades, spanning from the late 11th to the 13th centuries, marked a unique fusion of religious devotion and militarism that profoundly influenced medieval society and left a lasting legacy on global history. Framed as holy wars to reclaim sacred Christian sites in the Holy Land, the Crusades established a precedent for combining religious ideals with military campaigns. This legacy of religious militarism extended beyond the medieval period, shaping later conflicts, ideologies, and societal structures. This essay explores the origins of religious militarism in the Crusades, its immediate effects on medieval Christendom and the Islamic world, and its enduring influence on global geopolitics and religious thought. 1. The origins of religious militarism in the Crusades. 1.1 The sanctification of war. The Crusades institutionalized the concept of bellum sacrum, holy war, presenting military conflict as a legitimate and divinely sanctioned act. This was a departure from traditional Christian doctrine, which emphasized peace and condemned violence. Pope Urban II's call to arms at the Council of Clermont in 1095 framed the First Crusade as both a spiritual duty and a means of salvation, promising indulgences to those who participated. 1.2 Religious and political motivations. The Crusades blended religious fervor with political ambition. Religious goals. The primary aim was to reclaim Jerusalem and other sacred sites from Muslim control, viewed as a divine imperative. Political expansion. Monarchs, nobles, and the papacy also saw the Crusades as an opportunity to expand their influence and territories. This synthesis of religion and militarism created a powerful and enduring ideology that justified warfare as a sacred endeavor. 2. The institutionalization of religious militarism. 2.1 The rise of military religious orders. The Crusades saw the creation of military religious orders, which institutionalized religious militarism. Knights Templar. Established to protect Christian pilgrims, the Templars became a formidable military and financial power. Knights Hospitaller. Originally a hospital order, the Hospitallers took on military duties, defending Crusader territories and caring for the wounded. Teutonic Knights. Focused on missions in Eastern Europe, they combined crusading ideals with territorial conquest. These orders epitomized the fusion of religious piety and martial discipline, setting a precedent for combining faith with military organization. 2.2 The militarization of Christian doctrine. The Crusades contributed to a broader militarization of Christian thought, legitimizing violence in defense of the faith. Concepts such as crusading indulgences and the sanctification of martyrdom influenced both the conduct of warfare and the spiritual aspirations of those who fought. 3. Immediate impacts of religious militarism. 3.1 The Crusades as a template for religious conflict. The Crusades provided a model for future religiously motivated wars. The Reconquista. The Spanish campaigns to reclaim the Iberian Peninsula from Muslim rule adopted the rhetoric and strategies of the Crusades. The Albigensian Crusade. This campaign against the Cathar heresy in southern France extended the concept of holy war to conflicts within Christendom. 3.2 Intensification of religious polarization. The Crusades exacerbated divisions between Christianity and Islam, fostering a legacy of mutual distrust. In the Islamic world, the Crusades were seen as an external aggression that reinforced the unity of the Muslim world against a common enemy. In Christendom, the Crusades deepened the perception of Islam as a rival faith, shaping European attitudes toward the Muslim world for centuries. 3.3 The militarization of European society. The Crusades contributed to the militarization of medieval Europe, with knights and nobles embracing a culture of warfare intertwined with religious duty. This militarism permeated European politics, art, and literature, glorifying the ideal of the warrior in service of God. 4. Long-term consequences of religious militarism. 4.1 The legacy of military religious orders. The military religious orders established during the Crusades continued to influence history long after the Crusades ended. Knights Hospitaller. The order evolved into a naval power based in Rhodes and Malta, defending Christian interests in the Mediterranean. Teutonic Knights. Their campaigns in Eastern Europe contributed to the Christianization and colonization of the Baltic region, shaping the political landscape of Central Europe. Cultural influence. These orders left a lasting imprint on Western military and religious traditions, serving as models for later institutions. 4.2 Colonial and imperial expansion. The crusading ethos influenced European colonialism and imperialism. Religious justifications for conquest. The rhetoric of holy war was adapted to justify the colonization of non-Christian lands during the Age of Exploration. Crusader ideals in the New World. Spanish and Portuguese explorers framed their campaigns in the Americas as extensions of the crusading mission to spread Christianity. 4.3 The militarization of religious identity. The legacy of the Crusades reinforced the association of religion with military power. In Christianity, the concept of defending the faith through armed conflict persisted in the rhetoric of religious wars, including the 30 Years' War and the French Wars of Religion. In Islam, the Crusades influenced the development of Islamic concepts of jihad as a defensive struggle against external aggression. 5. Religious militarism in the modern era. 5.1 Religious nationalism. The legacy of religious militarism persisted into the modern era, influencing the rise of religious nationalism. Crusading imagery. European nations invoked Crusader symbolism in conflicts such as the Reconquista and the wars against the Ottoman Empire. National identity. Monarchs and states used religious militarism to unify populations and legitimize their authority. 5.2 Religious extremism and militancy. The ideological framework of religious militarism has been appropriated by extremist groups in contemporary conflicts. Christian militancy. Some far-right groups invoke the memory of the Crusades to justify anti-Islamic rhetoric and actions. Islamic responses. The Crusades are often cited in Islamic discourse as a historical precedent for Western aggression, shaping narratives of resistance and defense. 5.3 Global implications. The legacy of religious militarism continues to shape international relations and conflicts. In the Middle East, the memory of the Crusades influences perceptions of Western intervention in the region, reinforcing historical grievances. Interfaith dialogue. The enduring legacy of religious militarism underscores the importance of addressing historical tensions in efforts to promote peace and understanding. 6. The dual legacy of religious militarism. The Crusades left a dual legacy of religious militarism, characterized by both positive and negative dimensions. Positive legacy. The Crusades fostered cultural and intellectual exchanges, facilitated the development of new military technologies, and strengthened the concept of chivalry as a code of conduct. Negative legacy. The Crusades entrenched religious polarization, justified violence in the name of faith, and set a precedent for conflating religious identity with military power. Conclusion. The Crusades were a defining moment in the history of religious militarism, institutionalizing the idea of holy war and blending spiritual devotion with martial pursuits. This legacy shaped the political, cultural, and religious landscape of medieval Europe and the Islamic world, leaving an indelible mark on global history. While the Crusades fostered advancements in military organization and cultural exchange, their association with religious violence and polarization continues to resonate in modern conflicts and ideologies. Understanding the legacy of religious militarism in the Crusades offers valuable insights into the complexities of faith, power, and conflict. By examining this legacy, we can better navigate the challenges of interfaith relations and the enduring influence of religious identities on global politics. Banda NOI. Teep. ChatGPT da NOI. 7. The role of religious militarism in shaping modern institutions. The legacy of religious militarism from the Crusades extended beyond medieval warfare and influenced the formation of modern institutions, ideologies, and cultural narratives. 7.1 The evolution of military religious organizations. The military religious orders founded during the Crusades served as models for later military and charitable institutions. Their organizational structures, blending spiritual dedication with military discipline, influenced the development of charitable organizations. Orders like the Knights Hospitaller evolved into humanitarian groups, such as the Sovereign Military Order of Malta, which continues to provide medical aid and disaster relief worldwide. Modern militaries. The crusading order's emphasis on discipline, hierarchy, and strategic fortifications influenced the professionalization of armies and the development of military academies. 7.2 Religious militancy and state formation. Religious militarism shaped the formation of early modern